What's up, everybody? This is Hush, aka How You Stop Him, aka Voice of Reason, aka Unstoppable Hush, and this is Tell It How It Is, No Filter, episode 127, on Monday, July 26th, 2021. It's quiet. That's my favorite phrase. What's the normal? I hope everybody's good. That's how I always begin. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Hope you're energetic going into your week, whatever it is that you do. I hope you're successful. I hope that this week was better than I hope this week is better than last week. And just a little tip, not planned for the segment. No matter what you're going through, I may have said this before. No matter what you're going through, if it's not the best for you right now, you still remain positive as possible and wish the best for others. If I'm great, whether I'm great or not, I want others to be great, because me not being in a great place, I don't want company there. Get it? Like, I don't need y'all to join me there because I don't want to be there. Why the hell would I want to invite people to a place that I don't want to be at? You know what I'm saying? So even if things aren't the brightest at the moment, you wish the best for others is still. There should be a permanent behavior. Should be a permanent behavior that you maintain. I don't want to be there, so I don't want to invite nobody there. That's a quote I'm gonna keep. So yeah, that's just, something to open up with. You should know by now that the Bucks won the chip 4-2. I don't even want to go into the game itself. To me, it was, entertaining. It looked like it could have went either way for a little bit. But I was pretty sure after this first half what was going to happen. I don't want to talk not against the Bucks. I wasn't rooting for them per se, but I'm not against them. I already spoke on how, I felt. I just wanted a good series. The finals is supposed to be some classical shit. To see a game 7 is dope. You know what I mean? That means both teams banging it out. To come up 6 games, that doesn't mean that the other team was whack. But, you know what I mean? To see a little more, I wanted to see a little more. That all. It ain't really about who won. Giannis is boasting. Him and Harden have a little back and forth. That's not new, though. The whole joining the super team versus if I was a big man like that and I could just run down the court and do me. All of that talk I'm sure y'all heard and familiar with. PJ Tucker is hilarious. He's just acting like a Negro, like, you know what I mean? From the hood that wants something big. You feel me? I can't really be mad at his behavior. You feel me? So congrats to them. The parade was dope or whatever. I didn't see everything, when I do my little gym run, when I'm on the bike or whatever I do, the TVs is in the gym, putting you on the things that, you may not have seen. So that's dope. And, congrats. Drew Holiday, Middleton, and Booker joined the USA team now that the finals is over. I'm sure they winded and tired and shit. So that's real. I don't think Giannis is going to play for his country or whatever. Maybe not, but I don't think he is. Yeah, so they joined Team Olympics just in the nick of time to get their first game going. Exhibition is over. We into the teeth of it now. Their team, they went up against France. That got Gobert and Fournier and Batum. Those are NBA players or whatever that's, talented or whatever. But it seemed like France, had a message to send. So as good as U.S. started to look a little better because, they got criticized in their exhibition, blah, blah, blah. they didn't pull a win off in the fourth quarter. France, staged the comeback and won. I don't remember the exact score. France won though to set it off. They got France highly anticipated to go to the chip or one of the lasting teams. So US got to come correct. So they should be all right though with those three additional players. Once they play a little more gel, they should be all right. I don't really know what's going to happen, but we're going to keep I'm going to keep my ears locked in, ears and eyes locked in. With it being in Tokyo, it's always been like this, but I haven't really been on top of all of them. I've probably seen some of the games. I've been, you can like Google or ESPN, however you choose. I kept up with the scores or kept up with who's winning, but I didn't really be in touch this much. So I'm gonna pay attention this time, and see what happens. The games are weird with the times. Like yesterday's game was like 8 in the morning because Tokyo is so ahead of us. It's bugged out. But I'm gonna try to keep it up and keep watch on that, because it's only every 4 years, and I love basketball. Obviously, why I add it to my addition every time. Love playing it, love watching it. So the NBA is over, so this is the only other thing. You know what I mean? So if I can enjoy that, why not? So I'm gonna be keeping watch on that. Kanye West dropped the album Donda. I hope I say it right. Donda. Uh, the track. I'm gonna give some real criticism real quick. The track I expected to be the standout, and I have to go through it again. By the way, I didn't fully unpack it. The track with Hove, Heaven and Hell. I don't like it like that. I love the hook, but Hove kind of, he be in his. They gave us Christ and, that religion a little bit and how they try to push religion on us. And, he in that type of bag and I get it, sorry, not sorry is fire. But I gotta unpack that one. I don't really like that one. The Kanye joint with Dirk and Ty Dolla $ign is fire. The one with Rowdy Rich is decent. I like that. I didn't get to the Pop Smoke one yet. Speaking of which, the Pop Smoke album, I've unpacked it a little more. It's politically commercial. I don't love it. It's not. I don't know. I probably said enough about it already, so just leave that there. I only brought it up because Kanye has a pop feature. I didn't check it out yet. Like I said, I gotta unpack it again. But to go in deeper with that, where's Kanye's mental at this point? And it's not to like clown or joke about it because Donda, that's his mother's name. Nobody can tell a son how long to mourn their mother or, when and how he could represent her if he chooses. So I won't call this late to represent her or, dedicate something to her. But, Donda is the album that came out now. She died in 2007, complications from that cosmetic surgery. And, that was big. She was 58 and that was his biggest supporter. It's a mother. It was the real definition of a mother in his eyes. You know what I mean? So he obviously lost it after that, the 808 and Heartbreak album. I actually like a few cuts from that, but you can clearly see that he wasn't here. He was, since then he hasn't been here. You know what I mean? And when I say here, yeah, he's here in a physical form, but even all his success with the Yeezys and everything he's done since his mother's passing, you can tell is not in his, he's not in his strong mental state that he would have been had he not lost her. So saying that brings me to my topic. And I gotta give a perfect quote. A perfect quote by him when he said, "I lost the only girl in the world that knows me best." Now that's when I could relate. You know what I mean? So I lost someone special who was as close to being a mother as a mother can get. and that was my grandmother. And I lost her 2 years after he lost his mother. So I had a bond with him for that little window because I could feel what he was going through. I don't think we're different human beings. He's way more successful too, not to bash him, but like I didn't break down for as long as he did. And no disrespect, money ain't everything, and then material shit don't really take away real pain. But I held it together, I think, a little better than he did. But then I'm not comparing the bonds there. I'm just telling you my story. So yeah, when you feel like you lost that one that you know was the battery, always motivated you, pushed you, was always supportive, not a yes person, like they still told you when you was wrong, they still advised you, they still held their point of view, not the person that just agrees. We don't need that. We don't really need that. you know Grandmothers are looked at as they spoil you. They don't really, because even with my pops, and I don't get real personal, but just one real quick thing. I know my pops looked at it like she just gave me everything I wanted and just spoiled the shit out of me. And, people look at things one-sided. So because I put in work. You know what I mean? I wasn't the best perfect kid. I made mistakes. We all made mistakes, goof around in school, play around with girls, get into like little extracurricular activities that may have not been the best choice. But I felt like whatever my grandmother did was warranted, you know? And a grandmother is going to give like a little extra love. You know what I mean? But that's not the point. The point is, when you lose somebody like that, and there's no specific person, Kanye's with, his mom, me, granny, you, it could be whoever. I'm just saying in general, when you lose that person, do you need to find a replacement? Now, whether you need to or not, I'm sure that you will attempt to find a replacement. Did I? I think I did. It's a lot of pressure because how do you do that? Like, how do you even go about that? Like, everybody's so unique, and the impact, and if they're this powerful to your existence, if they're that much of a factor, I don't even see how you can go about finding a replacement. But are you wrong is the question, and I need feedback on this. I'm not going to try to assume for anybody. I could only say my view that I think that you're setting yourself up for an impossible mission to think you're going to find a replacement. You may could look to others, find like 2, 3 people who you can like break up, and one you can go to for one aspect, people that could help you get through. But I don't call that a replacement. I think it's impossible. So do we ever get back mentally strong as we were when that person was alive if we lose them and we don't have a replacement? So in Kanye's example, I don't know him personally. I doubt he found a replacement. Is this album a sign that he's finally, I won't say over it, he's finally adjusted back to where he can maintain? Because I think to help you get through something like that is to look at it like now they're looking over you and still rooting for you. They're just not in the physical form. So is this album for him something where now he looks up and feels her energy? I mean, he could have felt it sooner. And feels like, I'm watching over you. Do your thing. You still got it. Go. Rooting for you. Yay, yay. You know what I'm saying? So, like, can we use that? Like, once we finish the grief process and say, you know what? This person is looking over me right now, and I can still make them proud, and I can still feel their energy and do me. You know what I mean? How long? Like, I can't tell you a time frame. I just wish I could. You know what I mean? Or like get an idea from somebody, anybody. what that's like. You know what I mean? Like to get over something, or to finally say, you know what, this person's in a better place. You know, I'm being selfish. You know, if everything we're told, not saying it's absolutely true, but if everything we told about the afterlife, especially if you enter the gates of heaven, that's supposed to be no more pain, no more suffering. You know what I mean? So, like, it sounds good, but we don't want to let a person we love, admire, and cherish go to that place. You know, we want to go together. But that's neither here nor there. So, the point I'm trying to make is, again, how do we deal with this? You know, how much of a toll does it really take? How do we bounce back? It's a lot. It's a lot. For me, again, I can only talk on me. You know, like I said, I don't know Kanye personally. Whoever's listening or viewing this, you can take a sec to reflect and comment if you choose. Like, you know, if you lost somebody, all the things I'm asking here, like as far as trying to find a replacement, how important is a replacement? Do we even not even attempt that? Um, and we just get over things where we see fit. You know, again, for me, he lost his 2007. I lost mine in 2009. It's deep shit. I don't feel like I got over it, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like I could deal with it. It's like a injury or wound, or you know, some most wounds heal. Let's say if I was an athlete and I have an injury, you know, there's certain injuries that never really go away. Like, they lessen in pain and you could deal with it. So that's what my comparison would be. Would be me just dealing with it. I don't think I'm over it, but I think so much things have happened since then that may or may not affect the fact that I'm not over it. Because, you know, I looked at I looked at mine's like more than just supporting and motivating. I looked at her as like my little good luck charm. Like, you know, bad stuff happened while she was here, but not really. You know what I mean? Plus I was younger, so you know, you feel like you go through the most shit. You're supposed to go through the most shit like younger on than when you get older. You still always gonna go through shit as you live this life. But I felt like the bulk of the dirt and the nasty and the mud and you know the shit you gotta learn and grind out and get through. I felt like that should be earlier on in your life than later. So since her passing, I felt like that's when it began really. So it wipes out my memory. Like I can't even remember like the worst or the bad shit I went through while she was here. There were things like that of that nature. I did go through shit for sure that still stung and still was a learning lesson and you know not to do again or learn better for the next time. But I know since her passing, it don't even light a candle. So is that factors that determine when you get over it, or those factors are why you look to find a replacement? So like I said, if she's my good luck charm, I'm trying to find another good luck charm to see if we can minimize the shit that went down since her passing. It's really mental. Like you really could break things down and really let this consume you, and it's real because people don't know unless you have somebody that impactful and you lose them. Like there's nobody that can really judge you for how you handle that. So you know, to go back to Kanye for a minute, and this is not a Kanye episode segment, but it's a good comparison, and it's just so convenient about the album just dropping that yeah, he wowed out. He bugged out. You know what I'm saying? He was doing things that people thought he would, you know, that's not the regular Kanye, but you can't tell a man how to deal with his pain. You know what I mean? And, you know, you can say, you know, once he had kids, because that's another thing, you know, when you have a child, you bring a child in this world, one, two, three, or what, however many, you're supposed to like adjust, adapt. So even if that's something that's bugging you, bothering you, affecting you, I guess you kind of supposed to put that to the side, because kids are like even smarter nowadays. They may not make the best choices, our youth, our next generation, but they're not dumb as far as being able to sense vibes with their loved ones, their parents, who they're around. You know, if they're not around you, then they don't know, or they may not be able to like detect it as clearly. But if you're, you know, if you live with your child as you supposed to mostly, um, they can tell. So once he had kids, once I had a kid, I was supposed to shake that, you know what I mean? Or at least not let it affect my interaction with my kid. And I'm sure Kanye did an adjustment to an extent. Like I said, I don't know him, you know, and this is not a Kanye segment. So I'm probably using another example or two and then leaving him be. But the point is still, what do we really do? How do we know that we're over it? How do we know we're doing better? How do we know we're not looking for a replacement? Because it's not so much like you could write that down like it's solid, like, yo, I'm looking for a replacement, like you announcing it or putting it in the email or some shit. Like, do you think indirectly or unbeknownst to you specifically that you are looking for a replacement? And however you move, with friends, with your partner, whoever you want to spend your life with, you know, I know no job can do it. I was gonna go there and say, you know, a job or anything you do on the side hustle. Maybe if you do like some charity work or something like that, maybe that can like take your mind off things. But I'm not really suggesting what you should do. I'm just trying to see where your mental is with this, you know, because again, some people can get over things and some people can't. So, you know, you can say that Kanye, again, was bugging. Maybe he's good now. I didn't I wasn't as animated as him, but I'm not good when it comes to Granny. I'm not good. Like, I can accept it. You know, it sounds a little selfish because it's been 12 years. I was like going through something at the same time I was calculating that. But it's been 12 years, but yo, you don't understand. And people that go through it should understand. Um the thing about me though, even as I say that, and I'm not saying this to brag or boast. I'm not saying it's like I'm anything near perfect. Um it's probably more to just motivate you if you're feeling similar or have been in this situation. You just have to go on, the will to just go on. And again, having kids is definitely a factor in that. So like, use that, use whatever strength and fuel you do possess. If there's any talent you have, you know, I don't care if you paint, you make music in all aspects of the form, you can make clothes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of gyrate towards that, and that can be used as fuel to be all right, to hold you together. You know what I mean? Staying active, gym, health, you know, all of that stuff matters anyway, but there's people that's probably using this to get over things as well. So it's just crazy, you know, and this is another difficult topic to like really get through. I don't know. I think my last one was like that too, where it's learning, you know, it's learning, it's seeing if a solution can be made, not just coming on here and acting like I got all the answers. You know what I'm saying? You know, if I can just help somebody at least get to step one, step two comes next, and maybe you can go over some things in your own mind and say, you know what? Because he said that, I came up with this. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. So, like, I can't stress that enough. Each segment I come on, and I want it that way. I want the difficult things. I want the things that leave question marks and you got to go and dwell on it for a second. You know, I don't really like the segments where we just easily just get through it. Like, oh yeah, boom, 2 + 2 is 4. Life is way more complex than that. So if we can just try to see what we can get done, that'd be dope. But for me, as I close out, I think at first I wanted a replacement, but then I realized that there is no replacement. So it's like whatever now. So it's not a real I don't want a replacement. It's I'm not really searching for one anymore. If I'm able to gyrate, or if I met or interact somewhere where it gave me a sense of similarities, I'm grateful. In any moments where I get that, I'm grateful. But I'm no longer in the search of it. But I think when she first passed, I did search. You know what I'm saying? Or find like outlets specifically that could mirror her, maybe. You know what I mean? And I was unsuccessful. So I let that be, because some people that you meet in your life, some people that come in your life, some people that's just been there from day one, related or not, blood or not, there's no replacing them. Their impact and whatever they've done for you, you got to just enjoy that, embrace that, and try to go on despite how much it hurts. You know what I mean? Because a challenge is something that's supposed to push you to be better. And nothing lasts forever and nothing's a lifetime. So whatever greatness or great moments you've gotten, you have to be grateful for, cherish it, and try to just build from there. No matter if they with you for 1 day, 100 days, or 1,000,000 days. You know what I mean? So just try to dig deep and see how you can get over this, if this is something that currently bothers you, currently a factor in your life and what you do and how you do things. You know what I'm saying? So till the next time, peace, be safe.